Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. We are revisiting our favorite Scentsy team today. If you remember, there was a few trainings that I reacted to in the past, one specifically that this team was on a training bragging about the amount of money they made and how much actually came from their sales versus how much came from their teamwork, their team's efforts and work and their sales. The information that came out from that video was astounding. And it just so happens that I have a pile of this individual team's trainings on my hard drive. So I thought it was time to pull one out, and this specific training is on sponsoring, so I'm sure it's going to be awful, just like all of the other ones we've reacted to so far. Now, if you're not familiar with Scentsy, I do have a deep dive on Scentsy that I will link in the description if you would like to watch that after you watch this video. But to give you the lowdown, the quick 411, is that what kids are saying these days? I don't know. I'm in my 30s. I'm not that cool anymore. They are a scent company. They are a multi-level marketing company, an MLM, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. And they sell scented products. Their primary product that they started with, that they're mostly known for, are their wickless scent warmers that use a light bulb, and then they have a dish, and you put the wax cubes that they sell inside of that dish, and it smells good, which is great, sure. But it's a pyramid scheme, in my opinion, but only for legal purposes. And I was in this MLM for about 4 years. So that's a little bit of the backstory of Scentsy and how I tie into Scentsy. Now, also, I want to let you know, if you've never watched a video on my channel before, I do not blur voices. I don't blur faces. These individuals, when they sign on with an MLM, are essentially positioning themselves as public figures. So for that reason, I do not blur out names, faces, voices, none of it. The only thing that I will blur out are children. This does not mean that I am inciting hate toward these individuals. This is primarily just to show you the behavior that goes on behind the scenes within MLMs. With all of that said, let's get the into it, shall we?
Very.
Okay, as you guys can see, we are feeling icy. We're feeling icy tonight.
Welcome to your Thursday night entertainment.
Thursday night. We're here. We're ready to go. Is everybody in, Cal?
We're here.
Okay, we're here. We're ready to
Rock and
It
roll.
just seems like we're a little low tonight. Where is our peoples?
Yeah, invite your friends.
Maybe the leaders didn't advertise it properly.
I do. I send out a text.
I didn't. I did it 5 minutes with
send out an email.
5 minutes before it happened. I forgot. I thought I had an event and I didn't. I'm talking about myself.
Way to be awesome.
Listen,
Just drink your vodka.
no, it's a coconut cordial.
Whatever. Is it a vodka? I don't know what that means. Today.
It's similar. It's similar.
Okay.
Today is Thursday.
It might be stronger though, I
14th.
think.
So welcome. Everybody's having a good Thursday. All right, we're gonna share a couple things tonight, but we're gonna start tonight with, we're gonna try to share a personal story that we've experienced with the home office or our Scentsy business or Heidi and Orville, along those lines. We saw a post last week that someone made, and a couple of people commented like, oh, we would love for you guys to share this on Thursday night shift. So instead of a question, we're just going to share a story so that for fun. And I really do think that Heather should be the first one to go tonight. Does anybody else agree? Show of hands. Heather should go first. Oh, look at all those hands.
I don't think I should.
I don't know that any of our stories will be able to follow that up very well.
Yeah, let me finish.
I think she should go last.
Yeah, thank you. Let me finish. I had to pour myself a drink to share with what I'm going to share with you tonight. I
don't
drink.
want her to chicken out, you guys. So whatever
okay.
we do, we cannot let her chicken out. So who wants to go first then?
I can.
All right.
Unless somebody else wants to. Okay.
Go ahead.
So my very first incentive trip with Scentsy. Now you have to guys remember, if you remember my story, I was doing that month, I had done 23 home parties. I had a full-time job. So I was working every minute of every day. It was absolutely crazy. My husband was helping me. We were exhausted. We finally earned this trip and we're so excited to get away because this is the first time ever we had gone away alone. And so we get there and our hotel room, we went to Banff, Alberta, Canada. Our hotel room, you remember the story? was so trashed. Okay. And so another thing is, back then people didn't really drink alcohol on Scentsy trips, and we didn't know this. And we went to a store, Eric and I, we went and got some bottles of wine and some beer because we were by ourselves for 5 days. We were so excited. My parents were staying with our kids. We didn't care about anything. We just wanted to relax for 5 days.
No shade to Canada, okay? But imagine working so hard, like she just mentioned, to earn an incentive trip, like day and night, your husband's helping you, you're busting your ass. You earn an incentive trip and you decide to go to Alberta, Canada. If I worked my ass off for an incentive trip day and night and had my husband or other family members get involved, it better be somewhere a little bit more tropical. I know that's like personal preference, but I just feel like if you are working that hard to earn an incentive trip, why not just work that hard to make money and then decide where you get to go? Doesn't that make more sense? I feel like that's more logical. I never understood why so many MLM consultants, network marketers, they work so hard for these incentive trips when they can just pick where they go, when they go, how long they go, where they stay, if it's all inclusive or if it's not. It just never made sense to me, because then you're nailed down to wherever your MLM incentive trip is for that year, and that could be your only vacation for the year, and I just don't feel like that's fun.
So we didn't pick up after ourselves. Our room was trash. There were beer bottles and empty wine bottles. I had opened up the ironing board to iron something. I never put it away, and then we just started throwing all of our stuff on it, like empty beer bottles, and I'm not even kidding you guys, my underwear on the floor. Like, it's a disaster. Okay. We are getting these room drops every night, and we're like, oh my gosh, these hotel people must think that we are the biggest losers in the world. I hope they don't tell anybody. Like, it was so bad. You would be so mortified and embarrassed if this happened to you. So we go home and everything's great. We had the best trip ever. And, you know, we live our lives. We go on another Scentsy trip, and somebody says to me, can you believe that Heidi and Orville went around and did every single room drop in Banff? Yes, all of you should be about to die right now, because that was Heidi and Orville's first impression of new Jen and her husband, Eric, these new people that were on their first incentive trip. They saw my underwear, my beer bottles, my wine bottles, my dirty clothes, like anything that could possibly be wrong in that room was wrong. So
that also feels wrong and like an invasion of privacy. Like, room drops, cool. Usually the hotel takes care of it. But for the CEO and founders of the company to come into your room and leave you room drops, I would be so uncomfortable. I'm already uncomfortable with hotel staff, like seeing my stuff. I always make sure everything's tucked away and nobody can see it. But for the CEO of the company, I would feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? I almost would feel violated. Like, that's not your business. I didn't know you were going in my room, and I would prefer you not go in my room.
Right, that's what I just told them. Eric's like, but we didn't know until like a year later. I'm like, I know. So we lived for a year not knowing, and then now we're still completely mortified. So that's my first experience with Heidi and Orville.
Well, that's awesome. Kelly, you want to go ahead with yours?
Yeah, I can come on. So I think it's so fun because Scentsy really is it is something so very different, right? So we were actually out at the lake property. If you're not familiar, Heidi and Orville have a big event center that they built, and they kind of built it so we would have a place to call kind of like home, and we go and we do our events there and all this stuff, right? And it is on a lake, and Heidi and Orville have fish put into this lake. And so we were out there for Superstar Director Summit, and Mom and I were out on the bank with Orville, and we were fishing because he always brings his fishing poles out. And actually, Jody reminded us today, she has some really, really cute pictures of Heather fishing on one of those trips. And I think it's just so fun because we were fishing. So anyways, we're sitting there, Mom's casting out the thing, she's reeling it in, we're doing the whole thing, he's doing as well. Mom's like, hey, why don't you go ahead and it's your turn, you do it. And I'm like, okay. So I cast it. It was a really horrible cast, like really bad. Reel it in, cast it again, and all of a sudden, all I'm holding is the pole. Half of Orville's fishing pole is in the lake, the whole reel, the whole string, like goes out to the thing. Orville freaks out. He's like trying to pull it in, right? But he's pulling the string. And so what's happening? There's more string, and there's this big pile of string. And I'm like, I'll buy you a new one. Like, he doesn't have enough money to buy his own fishing pole, right? And he's like, it's fine. But you could tell he's like really panicked. And I've never fished since. Like, the year that you fished, I never did, because I felt so bad and so embarrassed that I ruined Orville's fishing pole. It was in the middle of the lake. He's just, yeah. So that's my story of Heidi and Orville. Jody,
Wait, I have a question. Whoops. Yeah. I just have a question. So did the fishing pole break? It wasn't actually your fault, or you?
I still do not know what happened. I was holding the pole and I cast it, and the whole like reel was in the lake. I have no idea how this happened, but I still had the pole. So
knows?
It
But I
must
was
have
still
broken,
really
so it wasn't your
embarrassed.
fault.
But still, I felt bad. So that was, it was bad.
And FYI, I can't find the pictures of Heather fishing. I'm sure they're on Facebook. I will make it my mission to find them. Oh, Heather probably has them because you need to see that. But if there's video footage, that would make it better, Heather. Do you have any of that? Y'all, it was just, I peed. Well, I pee a lot, really. When I start laughing, like, it's just bad. Okay, so let's just put that out there. So Heather, our stories often involve me somehow wetting my damn pants. All right, Jill, you have a story, hon?
Yeah, I have two, but one's quick. I remember I promoted to director in 10 months. I remember you had to sign up for leadership or the last day was October 31st. So I was sitting by my computer and I knew that's my big motivation is I want to be on these trips. I want to be at leadership. I want to be in the know. I want to be on the director's calls. That's what motivated me. So October 31st, Halloween, I remember promoting to director. I signed up for leadership, which was a Bahamas cruise, and I brought my best friend. And still to this day, 12 years later, not as bad, but I still get very nervous around Heidi and Orville, just making conversation. And we were all standing in line. It was like my first time to actually have a one-on-one conversation. And I remember I was having anxiety. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna say? What am I say that everybody else has to say? What do I say? Where am I name from? How are they gonna, all these things are running in my mind. And my best friend's way calmer than me. And she said, say something funny. I go, like what? She goes, say something they'll remember. I'm like, what am I gonna say? And she goes, ask them if they know that aardvarks eat 50,000 ants in a night. And I go, are you kidding me? And she goes, yeah, just say it. They'll remember you. So I walked up and I was like, it's so great to meet you. And I have no idea what to say, but did you know aardvarks eat 50,000 ants in a night? And Orville must have bent over laughing. And I was like, well, that actually worked. It calmed me down. He remembered me from that point on. And it was really, really funny. So if you get really nervous, just think of something funny to say and they'll never forget you. And it was totally funny. My next thing was at, I think Fort Worth convention. And I'm sure you guys feel this same way. Heidi and Orville have a mother-father role for a lot of us. We don't want to disappoint them. We don't want to do anything that would make them think that we're not all in Scentsy. And 2013, putting it out there, I signed up for a second direct sales business. And it was for personal reasons. I knew my heart was with Scentsy. It always was going to be with Scentsy. But I think it was Fort Worth. And I think the next day, Heidi and Orville had to catch a 6 a.m. flight. It was super early. And because I made that aardvark comment, I think he had totally remembered me and knew that I signed up for this second company, stayed up till 4 a.m. having a conversation with me about the importance of not being the direct sales lady and the perception that you're putting out there. And I remember him talking to me and us having this one-on-one conversation. I was like, well, I really like the aardvark conversation better because I feel like I'm getting in trouble. And he just started laughing and he hugged me, and I have the picture around here somewhere. My friend, another consultant, Lori, was with me and she was just bawling. She's crying. Orville wraps his arm around me and he goes, I love you and I know you're going to do great things. He's like, you're a Scentsy lady. He's like, be that Scentsy lady. And it was just a great conversation about, when he asked me questions, why did you join this other company? What isn't Scentsy giving you? And it was just this one-on-one, almost father-daughter conversation where I think that's what makes Scentsy so special. And still to this day, I'll never forget. I was like, don't you have to get on a plane in 3 hours? He goes, yeah, but some conversations are more important. So it just really hit my heart. They are who they say they are. And I will never, ever forget that night for as long as I live.
Well, seeing as how none of us want to follow Heather, I guess that leaves me with my story. There's a lot of different stories I could tell with Scentsy. I'm just, before we got on this call, Kelly and I started reminiscing, and we've been on a lot of trips, some that are not Scentsy sponsored, but the basis or the premises of the trip is somehow Scentsy related, but it turns into a wild girls trip. And so it's always just kind of fun to go down memory lane. And I was thinking, what can I share? What funny stories do I have with Orville? And I'm going to kind of go with the direction that Jill went in, which was to drive home the mom and dad vibe with Heidi and Orville. You guys have been around for a while, I'm passionate. I like, to stick up for the underdog. And if I believe in something, even if I'm the only one standing, I'm going to stand up for that. So there was a situation that came up before Summit one year, and it was a very hot topic. I don't remember what year it was. But we, as superstar directors, had no idea something was coming down the pipe. We were kind of blindsided with it. The field was upset, and we felt that, right? But you also don't want to question your mom and dad or your parents. But there's always that one sibling that will, and that sibling this year was me. And I went into Summit very nice, I would say, right? I just wanted to address the concern that everybody else was kind of feeling, the field was feeling, but somehow I felt it was my responsibility to stand up in front of, 150 other SSDs and have this conversation.
That is very cult-like when you look at your CEO and founders as your mom and dad. First of all, You call yourself business owners. Clearly that's false, because if you were business owners, you wouldn't have anybody above you. You would be the top of the chain. But your parents, quote unquote, apparently are the business owners, very apparently. And you are the contracted employees. But it's just creepy to me that they are talking about Heidi and Orville, who are the founders of the company, as parents, and now you're all siblings. And it just all goes hand in hand with the fact that they call each other Scentsy brothers and sisters, and their convention every year is called Scentsy Family Reunion. It's all very, very culty, in my opinion, but only for legal purposes.
With Heidi and Orville, because we were allowed to have like a two-hour conversations with them where no other executives are allowed in. It's just us, and we can put things out there. And so I did, and I don't think it went bad, right? But it didn't go great. And I remember, feeling kind of attacked, right? And I know Heidi was really upset with me because she made that really, really clear. And to the point where like we're kind of going back and forth, and some of the other people in the room had to kind of like break up the argument, so to speak, and be like, that's not what Jody's saying, just to kind of like, because it was getting a little bit heated. So I was like, I'm going outside to smoke. So I went outside to smoke, and I was just feeling all the feels or whatever. And I come back upstairs, and Orville's like, hey, Jody, come here. And I'm still a little bit like, I don't really want to talk to you right now. I'm a little upset. And he's like, I just want you to know how much I love and appreciate you or value. And I looked at him and I go, do you really? Because you make me feel like the redheaded stepchild from New York that nobody likes. It was just like, and from there we had a beautiful conversation where I was able to communicate more effectively, like what we were feeling. And we've had a great relationship. And it's very honest. Like, I respect everything that Heidi and Orville say and do. And I know even if I don't understand something that's coming kind of down into the field, I don't necessarily have to understand it, because I have trust that they have our best interest at heart always. And I found this picture, and this just kind of goes to show you, like, these aren't just people that are in the back office and we don't ever see them. They are like honest to God, good people. And I've had plenty of private conversations with them that are non-Scentsy related. When they say they care about us, the field, the consultants, believe it 110%, because they have been offered millions of dollars to sell this company, and they won't, because of us. All of us sitting here tonight. Here's another, just a picture that was from that same summit. And look at him. He's just, can you see it? Is that better? Just a chill guy. He's just a great guy. And he actually talked to Melissa Grantz's mother that night on the phone. And she's like, had I known I'd be talking to you, I would have put on my better wig. That's just great. They're just honest to God, good, fun, down to earth people. But nothing will top the next story. I'm certain of it. Take it away, Heather.
Oh my, this is, put all your children to bed or put on headphones so they can't hear. I know I saw Crystal's little sweet baby girl come in. I'm like, girl, do not let her hear this story. It is R-rated. It is not PG. So I will warn you now. I'll give you a few minutes to let the little ears go away. Okay, so we all have those friends where we tell them in confidence about something that happened in our lives, and loose lips sink ships. We all have those people, y'all know. Jody's one of them, number one. But Melissa Gratz is a second. So this is what happened. Picture it. Superstar Director Summit. I don't remember which year it was. But we're sitting at a round table at lunch. And Melissa goes, Orville, you have to hear this story about Heather, what she did. I'm like, if I could have seen a ghost, I would have seen a ghost. Like, no, you are not physically saying this out loud at the table with everyone here. Like, you are not calling me out. I mean, I will tell the story. I have no shame in this game. So here was my confidential story to a friend who has loose lip sink ships. One night, me and my husband decided to have beverages. A lot. I was very drunk. I bought some lingerie and decided to put some lingerie on and wait for him in the bedroom. Except he's sitting in the living room watching TV. He's not coming. I'm starting to feel sick laying in bed. I'm like, oh, I better put a foot on the ground to keep me grounded. They say if you put one leg outside the bed, it helps keep you grounded to where you're not going to throw up. No, it's not working. I didn't have on panties, by the way, because I was in lingerie. I was like easy access that night. And so I start feeling sick. I'm grounded with one foot, not working. I run to the bathroom. Mind you, Jason's still sleeping in the recliner. And I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I am going to be sick. Literally, I start puking and peeing at the same time because I have no panties on. How does this happen? You're over 40 now. Every time you cough or do something or that urge happens, it is coming out both directions. Never happened in my life before. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. I now I've got to like mop the floor, clean this up. Like, what is happening? I hate to throw up anyway. It was just a big old mess. After that, I put on my probably Christmas pajamas, my long sleeve pants and shorts at this time. By this time, I'm over it. It's not happening. And Melissa I have to tell the story in front of Orville. And he is dying laughing as Orville is hearing the story about my want to be sex life and my tendencies of drinking too much.
What the does that have to do with Scentsy? And why are you telling your male leader this story? Why did that have to happen? What? This is supposed to be a sponsoring training. And they're talking about getting drunk and peeing and puking. This has nothing to do with anything. I am speechless.
Sorry, we forgot some details in
We did?
part of the story. So at lunch, what she's forgetting to tell you part is the part that involves Orville, where she's telling him this at the table with baby Marin, who is like less than a year old. And you know, Heather's a little bit animated, so she has to act out.
I'm acting it out. Yes.
The bathroom scene, right? So she gets a chair, y'all. She gets a chair up, and she is.
I was acting it out.
In Scentsy Commons. So now this private roundtable discussion that we're having with Orville, everybody in the cafeteria is watching Heather pretend to puke and pee on the floor while Orville is just dying laughing at the table. And I couldn't believe she was telling him that. It was hysterical, you guys. It was the best story ever. I was just.
But hey, Orville still loves me. No judging. He does not judge me, and he still loves me to this day. Even though
I think Heather might be his favorite person.
I don't think so.
I really do. I really think Heather might be Orville's favorite person in the world.
I don't think so, but it was real life. It was real life.
It was real life. Okay, so that was
And like Lynn said, yeah, she is a shining star. So exactly.
I mean, we have so many different stories that could go round and round. Like one time when we were smokers back in the day, and Orville let us smoke on campus, which is the non-smoking campus, and someone blamed me for flicking butts. It wasn't me. I don't flick my butts. But anyway, it's just, it's no wonder the man probably hates me.
He does
I
not
think the
hate
point
you.
of this whole like storytelling time is that I hope you know you're at the right place. If you have fun stories, you like to have a good time, right? And our owners and everybody that we work with, like it really is just one big happy family. And we're all a mess, and we're happy that you're a part of it. And
Yes.
Could you picture going into like a job interview and like they're just telling you these stories and they're like, the whole purpose of this was to tell you that you're accepted here. I'd be like, no thanks, but no thanks. I think I'm gonna go somewhere else because this is so unprofessional. I don't what the is happening. I don't know when we're gonna get to the sponsoring part, but I mean, this has been interesting thus far, to say the least.
it's just a good
Well, and you won't have any of those stories, right, until you start to put yourself out there and you attend events or private retreats and things like that, because that's where those moments and those memories are made from. And my God, over the last 13 years, the memories I've made are just absolutely insane. So, all right, it is 8:20. Story time is over, and let's get on with the call. We want to talk a little bit about sponsoring, and we're going to trickle in some information about events in there as well. Has anybody gotten a new teamie or reinstated teamie this month? Are you guys in that program that how do you say it? Is it Rihanna?
Let's freaking sponsor and recruit.
Yes. That's a really great group. If you had a chance to get in there, I hope you're learning a lot of different information from that group. That's awesome, Crystal. Good for you. So I don't really know exactly what direction we want to take it. Heather, do you want to share what you did this past weekend?
Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
The group is already in process, so you can't join next. That right now, like next time they do it, you can, but it's already in process. So it started on the 1st. So it's cut off right now. Don't request to join yet. We'll post it when they do it again. So I want to start off by telling you I want to say a word. It's intention. You have to have intention in your business. Whatever you're seeking, you will find, whether that is you're trying to be a salesperson and push products, whether you are trying to be a party hostess and book parties, or you are offering the opportunity to change lives. What intention do you have in your business? This past weekend, newly promoted star consultant Amy Denman and I always do an event together every year. This is our 3rd year, I believe. We went into this event with the intent of sponsoring at our event. And when we got done, we signed 4 people on the spot, booked 1 party, and sold over $5,000. Now, mind you, I have my numbers. I'm going to find them while we're chatting. But of the people I just shared with Amy Stevens on the call the other night, on my personal sponsoring record, and my desk is not clean. It's on one of these papers in a Sharpie. I'm going to find it. But we went in with intent. And so what we did was, you all know with every 200 PRV, you can offer a host exclusive starter kit. Y'all all know that, right? And it's $59 host exclusive starter kit. So using the host credit of $20, you can apply that to the $59 and your starter kit will be $39. So what I thought I would do is, I can't find the paper. I'm going to find it one day. But here is what we did. Every person that spent over $100, I would tell them my exact thing. Record this, get your phone out, record it so you remember it, watch the replay, whatever. This was my exact verbiage of what I said. Anybody that spent $100 or more, I would say, oh my gosh, not for today, but just for future information, just so you know, anytime you spend $200, it's like shopping at Costco in bulk, I'll give you $20 in free and 2 half-price items. On the spot, these people were like, well, dang, of course I'm going to spend over $200. Then when I waited, let them pick out all their stuff. Then at checkout, just so you know, what you're spending today is the requirement for the year of what you need for your shopper's account to get paid on your purchases and get 20 to 25% back.
She just is bamboozling people into joining without actually saying, if you join Scentsy, you'll get such and such and such and such. It's like, next time you want to order $200 of product, I can get you blah, 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 and traps them into signing up, essentially, in my opinion. Now, also, I'd like to address the fact that she's just glazing over that people might regularly be spending $200 on Scentsy right now with inflation. Are you out of your mind? What? I don't know. I'm willing to bet that there's not that many people out there right now with the means to just go out and blow $200 on Scentsy. Like, there's groceries, there's childcare, there's gas, there's all of these other things that are essential to life, and Scentsy is not it. It ain't it.
Because that's all it's required to keep your Scentsy account to buy. So very quickly, people were like, oh my gosh. Even tonight, I was talking to Amanda, a friend of mine that's been buying from me for years. And I said, I've been trying to get her joined forever. And she goes, tonight, I was texting her when the Batman stuff came out. She goes, Heather, I should have done this a long time ago. I go, I know, girl. Like I told you, like, you spend this. So it's all in the way that you, I did say that 25 people, 40, I was going to say 45 people was my goal between the two of us, but we did 4. I have high, lofty goals, but we were very intentional with going in with sponsoring and making sure we were going to mention it. Whereas previous years, we've never sponsored anyone. So I want you to think about right now, make a list of people that have spent over $100 with you, either at one time or the past 3 months even. And how many of you run your business on individual orders? Like, y'all are individual order fools, creating individual orders. All of us, we all do it, right? It hits or miss. Collect $200, reach out to that big spender and say, hey, I have a $39 joint I want to offer you. And you are always spending so much with me. I want to offer this to you and see if you're interested in it. Because here's the deal. You taking that chance on reaching out to where just even asking if they're interested, they may say yes. You don't know until you ask. And so I challenge all of you to do that, because we went in, Amy Denman had 1 team member. She has sponsored 3 this month, and I have sponsored 5 this month. 2, Crystal's got 2 already. Being intentional. Last month I sponsored 0. The month before I sponsored 0. The month before that I think it was 1. The month before that 0. The month before that 2. Like, I'm not a big sponsor right now. It's because I am not asking enough people.
Is that why, or is it because you've run out of friends and family to recruit? Just something to think about.
And you have to figure out a way to fit it in the conversation where it is nonchalant, you're providing information, but hey, why not get paid on your purchases? So I wanted to share with you guys what we did over the weekend, because it really is working. And especially with it being incentive period, now is the time. And with these recruits, Amy Denman promoted to star consultant this month because they were spending $200 at our event. So we told them, you're bumping up your purchase, join right now. You can pick between these 2 kits. And we put the $200 order that they were purchasing under themselves. So they're already active day 1 that they're signing up. It was a win-win. So I wanted to share all that with you guys.
Well, I think you need to add, so what, like your flyer that you have the 2 kits on, right? So
I texted to her. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was showing both the $99 kit and it was showing the $59 kit, which if they use their $20 credit, they got it
Yeah.
for $39. But what was your experience with that?
So what I would do, it's on your workstation, and you have to search in the workstation, choose your path. That's the search words, choose your path. Download it, save it on your phone. So when someone was interested, I would go in and say, what's your cell phone number? Let me text you a picture of the 2 kit options I have. Because now I have their phone number. I want to be able to follow up if they decide it's not the path they want to go. So I texted in the photo. All 3 of my recruits bought the $99 kit. Not a single one went for the $59 one. So don't assume that because it's less expensive is better. People want a deal, and the $99 kit visually is much better than the $59 kit. Anybody that's trying to get a deal or make savings, they're going for the $99 one. For $40 more, you're getting over double of the merchandise inside of it.
So when she was sharing that with us, which obviously is freaking incredible, she went into the weekend saying, I'm going to recruit 25 people this week, and that's what I'm going to do. And so she's very disappointed with herself and her results because it wasn't 25. No, she killed it. As we were talking about it after, and this is not new news, okay? But if you have an event or you have an opportunity to do this, I was like, okay, she was saying, I up my booth, so next year I have an extra space than what I had this time. And I said, this is exactly what I would do. And I know that people have done this first part, but if you have the product and it's an option, it could even be empty boxes or empty bottles that you kind of save, put the kit on display, like literally put the kit as it would come on display at a party, at events, at a booth, whatever that looks like. And I also said, if you can do the $59 and the $99 kit, both kind of on different tables, so that they can visually see what is available. Because at the end of the day, yes, the $59 kit is great because you can get that discount on it, right? It is less if people are if it is outside of their budget and it's not an option. But if that isn't the situation, if that isn't the case and they can't afford the $99, we all know it's a much, much, much better deal to get all of that product. But actually having it there where they can see and kind of compare can make a huge difference just in that visual attraction.
And don't assume they're automatically going for the less. Like, that's the biggest mistake you can make with anything in your business, whether it's the air purifier, the diffuser, or whatever. You don't know people's spending habits. You don't know their budget. You don't know the justification on what they justify they can spend money on. Like, people would probably die if they knew how much money I spent on eating out, but that's my vice. I eat out every single day. It's probably a lot of money every month, but that's my date night. That's what I do to enjoy myself, right? So people have their vices. It could be shoes, it could be handbags, it could be dogs, it could be Jody's dogs for sure. It could be a lot of, I threw her under the bus. I just did what I said Melissa was. It's fine, but we all know those kind of people. I am one just now, and we all have our vices. So don't assume that the cheapest option is the way people want to go. That's the worst thing you can do. If you want to go somewhere in your business, you sign up for that Scent and Warmer of the Month. It's not built for you to decide, oh, I think this stinks, I'm going to downgrade it. No, boo. I'm going to tell you right now, the fairy tale pumpkin I thought smelled like cat piss. I hated the smell. You know how much bars I've sold of that this month? I mean, I literally thought it was cat urine. That's what my nose smelled. It smelled that, but I am selling it like crazy. And I am like, you know what? The scent is not for me, but we have a scent for everyone. So it's a marketing tool. You sample it, people will buy, people will book, people will join. So it's the same concept when you are pitching the Scentsy opportunity. Don't assume they want the least amount, cheapest kit available.
That's a really great reminder, because I often catch myself doing that. Well, more recently than ever before. Like, my newest recruit, I just kind of assumed based on her life situation that she would definitely want the $59 kit, and she absolutely did not want the $59 kit. She wanted the $99 kit. So it's a good reminder for all of us to remember that it's not up to us to decide for somebody else what's best for them or their wallet. But I do want to speak briefly to what Heather said when she first started talking, and it was about intention. And I've been doing this business for 13 years, and sometimes I forget to be intentional. We get so busy with kids and life and bills and team and customers, and we can kind of get lost and be distracted, or not necessarily putting our focus where it needs the most attention. So when we are more intentional in a certain area, whether that's sponsoring, or if you need to, hit a certain sales goal, if you put your focus there, those are the things that will not come true, but those are the results that you will see. So, and I may have shared this already with you, and if I did, I do apologize, but I had a customer, like Heather said, I've been trying to get her to join for years, and she just wasn't interested. And she buys a lot of Scentsy. She wanted bricks. I told her the only way you can get bricks, this was before the announcement. So the only way you can get that brick is in Scentsy Club, which she had stopped doing because of her life circumstances. Again, I'm thinking she doesn't want $99 kit, right? Wrong again. And I said to her, I said, you know, I was thinking today, I go, why don't you just join my team? Like, I just sent her the message. I'm like, you'd be great at it. You would get paid on your purchases, which equals your discount. You'd also earn the host benefits plus more. What do you think? She said, okay. As easy as that. And then she said, I should have done it a million years ago when you asked me the first time. And I said, well, today's a new day. So I was very intentional with, you know, like just putting it back out there. I've asked her before. She said no in the past, didn't mean no forever. And I'm really glad that I offered it to her, because I think not only will she be really good at what we do here, but it'll be fun to do it with her. Another person, I'm in that group that I mentioned earlier that is closed for this round of Let's Freaking Sponsor. So I've been taking the advice of some people that are in that group, and I've been sharing a little bit of different content on my social media that I normally would share. And a customer who I have asked to join before, who blatantly has told me, no, I will contact you if and when I need anything. But she does spend a lot with me. And she finally just came to me and said, you know what, I've been seeing your posts and they've been really speaking to me lately. I think I want to give this a try, but I have some doubts. And I just said, well, tell me what it is that you're thinking. What is it you're feeling? And so I kept it very short. I don't want to assume I know what she's going to question, think, fear, feel, any of that. When she wrote to me, I don't think I'll be a good salesperson, and I don't know about the time.
See how that worked? See how that worked. When she said, I will contact you when I need anything, homegirl backed off and she contacted her when she needed anything. This is what I mean when I've said in the past, in past videos, that these individuals are pestering people, and at one point they're going to go, the person on the other end is going to ghost you, ignore you, block you. But when you have already made clear that you're a Scentsy consultant, people are going to know that. You don't need to keep reminding them. They will come back when they're ready to order, or when they decide they want to join for whatever ungodly reason.
That's how I knew where to respond and what to say to her. I'm not a salesperson either. Are any of you salespeople, did you think when you joined, oh, I'm not going to be very good at this? I was like, no, I don't want to sell anything, but I did want to share it. I wanted to share the love of blueberry cheesecake with everybody who had a nose. And that was my goal. And that's the way I went into this. And so I kind of led her that same way. Like, you're not really selling. The product really does do that on its own. But we need people to distribute it to those who want it. There are plenty of customers out there who want their homes to smell delicious. So why would you not be the person that they go to? So again, very intentional with that. So if you kind of shift your focus and stop telling yourself, or stop allowing fear of unknown, fear of possible rejection, fear of not knowing how to train somebody, let all of that go and just simply invite them to come do what you do with you. Let them get a discount on their product. Like it's only $200 once a year. Of course, we're going to teach them to do more, and we want them to be as successful as they want. We also want them to know it's not like we have a dress code or an inventory requirement or a certain number of people you have to sponsor, or you lose all of these things. Like that is the case in some other companies, but we are changing the way that direct sales companies look and operate. So we want to make sure that—
How the fuck are you changing the way that direct sales companies look and operate? You are literally looking and operating exactly like any other direct sales company, but you make it look more wholesome and less pestery and blah, blah, blah. And that's not the case. You might think that, as the consultants themselves might think that it looks more wholesome and Scentsy is the safe MLM. That's not at all true. It's not true. What they're doing is masking what's really going on and making it look like that. It's not actually like that. It is just like any other scammy MLM company that's out there. Beachbody, now known as Body, It Works, Young Living, they're all the same. All of them.
when we're talking to potential new recruits, that they know, like, we're not going to expect you to show up in your, your leotards or your tights or your blazer or your red lipstick or any of those things. Come as you are. And that's how we want you. So if you haven't asked anybody this month, I'm challenging you to at least ask 5 people. Ask a customer, a friend, a relative, a coworker, and somebody in your distance on Facebook, maybe an old high school friend. But you never lead with the opportunity first. You start a conversation, you start a relationship, and then it naturally happens. So is anybody up for that challenge to see if they can add new teammates? Nancy's hand is up. I see some hands. Let's go. Let's go. All right. I love it. Jill's got hers up too. So, all right. Who wants to go next?
Well, I just wanted to add on to what both Heather and Jody were just saying. And one thing that I recently did that I'm finding that is very successful is I took a picture of myself with everything that comes in the kit, kind of like what Heather was saying. So it's all set up and I'm holding up a catalog and I took a picture. So now I just text that picture. It makes it a little more personal because it's me. If you have the opportunity to get all that stuff together and take a picture. So I've been sending that. The other thing that I've been doing is every single hostess, I tell them they have 3 choices. So I have it actually in my notes in my phone. So it's super easy. And I just have to plug in a couple of different things, amounts and names. So every hostess, I say, okay, we're going to be closing your party, but you have 3 choices at this point. Number 1, you can stay my customer and hostess. Number 2 is you can, because your party is whatever their party is. So if their party is 700, I figure out what they would get in free stuff. So 700 times 15% is $105. So then I'll say, so they get $105 in credits, right? And we know that that kit is $59. I said, you can use some of your credits. You're going to get $105. You can use some of it toward this special kit that's just for hostesses. And I'll say, and then you'll still get $46 in free stuff and 3 half-price items and all of this stuff for joining. And then I say, and number 3, which is my personal favorite option, is you pay $99 and you get this Mac Daddy incredible kit. And I show them the picture of me with all the stuff. And you get $105 in free stuff and you get 3 half-price items. I will help you pick out everything and you will have an incredible business for that you just paid basically $99 for. So you let me know which option sounds best to you. And it's pretty rare that they say number 1. So when I lay it out for them like that, it just makes it really easy for them to see the 3 choices. So I actually do the exact amount of money so that they know what they would be spending for each one.
I love that. That's awesome, Jen. I'm going to take that picture this weekend.
I'm just going to jump in real quick because it feels appropriate. I don't have all of this stuff, what Jen does, and I saw some really creative people out on the interweb do this. So I did this, and you can't laugh. It's a rule. There's no laughing aloud. So I took a picture of myself this morning. Can you all see it?
Jody, I just put that in the chat. I'm glad you're showing this so they can see it. Good.
Oh,
show that closely.
Okay. Can you see it? It's me holding the kit that I got a picture from like either Photify or the workstation.
Yes.
And it just says, would you look at that? I unlocked a business kit. Who wants it? So hopefully someone will take me up on it, but
hopefully someone will take me up on it. I guarantee that post has little to no engagement. If you scroll through like Scentsy consultant posts or any really MLM out there, when these individuals aren't already known as quote unquote influencers, their engagement is total shit. They'll have like thousands of followers or subscribers or whatever it is on whatever platform, but there will be no comments and like 2 likes. It's so crazy to see, and it's also very telling. That's why I always tell people who are thinking about joining a specific MLM company to go and look at the individuals that are already doing that specific MLM and look at their social media, look at their posts when they're posting about it. Are people interacting? Are they getting the sales that they're telling you they're getting? Because the chances are that they're not. They're probably telling you some white lies or just straight out blatant lies. And you need to know the actual facts before you get into it. And I think social media posts from the individuals are one of the best ways to tell if they're just trying to rope you into a pyramid scheme.
their idea for how you can kind of make it personal and fun. And I felt kind of cool when I made it. So there's
And if you
that.
don't know how to make it, you've got to get in there and play around. You've got to learn.
I
Just
did it on
because-
camera.
Well, that's the thing. It's just because you don't know how to do something doesn't mean you can't learn how to do it. We are all learning as leaders and superstar directors and certified consultants and lead. And so I don't care what title you are, it's just a freaking title. We're all learning every day in this business to learn something new to do. Callie's been teaching me Excel so I can be better at running reports and being intentional with helping those people in my team with their sales and promoting. So I'm learning something new constantly. So I think it's important for Jody. Like she said, I did this today. I was proud of myself. Like that's so important. Do something that you don't know how to do that you can be proud of yourself. That's what builds your confidence in this business. And you don't become complacent and just keep rowing and rowing and rowing and you're in the same spot where you started. Like you've got to be making progression.
And I also want to add, I know, sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
No, go ahead, Jen.
Real quick, I was going to say, I know that some of you are so afraid to flip hostesses. You're afraid to get your best customers to sign up. And we always tell you that don't be worried about it. It works out. But if you actually were to sit down and figure out on paper the difference, take some time and do that for yourself, because you are blessing them and you are truly blessing your own income. Like, you're blessing yourself. It's blessing two people. It is absolutely always the best way to invite people to join. Even when you think, oh my gosh, if she leaves, I'm going to lose so many customers. You're not, because you're doing a great thing for someone and it's going to come back to you.
Absolutely. I was going to add on to Jody Heather, about learning new things. I think that also comes with sponsoring as well. Like, if you're new, like, what tips would you give? Well, it's the exact same thing. Is to just kind of like go out and you learn as you go, right? You're going to find the things that are natural for you. You're going to find the ways that you can share and learn and go through all the different aspects, whether it's a party or whether it's sponsoring or whether it's flipping or all of those little things. Until you do it and you try something new and you learn something new, it's going to continue to be something you don't know how to do. Right? If nothing changes, we used to always end our Thursday night shifts with that. And it's the same thing. If we don't go out and learn or have those conversations, then we're going to kind of stay stuck in the same place. So anything
I want to add to that too, Kelly. And I'm going to be vulnerable here. I'm always pretty honest with you guys. I had a home party last night for the first time since like 2018. And prior to that, I probably hadn't done one in a while either. I was nervous. You know what I mean? It's okay to still feel afraid or nervous or lack a lot of self-confidence in certain areas of our business, because it's not the confidence that you need to do those scary things. It is the courage to do them scared. Mm-hmm. So I had a great time. I didn't die. I got a lot of orders. We had a really great time. So even though I was like hyping myself up in my head, like, you don't know how to do a home party. What are you forgetting? What do you got to bring? What are you going to say? Like, ask the girls. I was like a brand new consultant. Like, I was like, never had done a party before. I was just nervous. And lo and behold, everything turned out just fine. And even had I made a mistake, or even if I'd forgotten to bring something or say something, no one's going to hate me. My business isn't going to fail. It actually makes us a little bit more personable to the people attending. Oh, like she messed up. She can do it. So can I. So don't be afraid to be afraid, right? If you always let fear control what you do in your life, you won't learn, you won't grow, you won't have new experiences, because the fear will trap you over here. Just dig down deep, take a deep breath. I've done this 100 times. And just go and do it anyway, because I can tell you that the satisfaction you will feel after you have accomplished something that you thought you were afraid of is the greatest feeling I've ever felt. Like, when I have to get up and speak publicly and I want to literally vomit.
This is one of those things where if your gut is telling you you're scared or you shouldn't do it, you should listen, because it's a pyramid scheme and an MLM pyramid scheme, in my opinion, of course.
When I'm done and that adrenaline leaves, I'm like, I did it. I didn't die. It feels so good. So give yourself that permission to feel afraid and do the scary thing anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you to lower your standards. When you see people on here talking and I talk effortlessly because I don't think before I speak. Whatever I'm speaking just comes out of my mouth. So that's why you don't see me make tons of mistakes all the time. And people are like, I can never do what Heather does. Here's number one. I don't really care. I don't really have a filter of what's coming out of my mouth. I just say it. I mean, I told you I was peeing and vomiting at the same time. So people don't really, I don't really care what's coming out of my mouth, because I'm at that age where I just don't give a shiz. But here's what I want you to do. Erase the standards. Take away your expectations. What you think is perfection of you not going live because you've seen somebody else do it better. There's always going to do somebody that's doing it better, bigger, greater, more perfect. So erase the word perfect. There is no such thing. And just do it. People relate to you. They're friends with you on Facebook and buy from you because of you, not because they've seen a live from me or love the product. They can buy it from anywhere. And as long as you're doing your job good and you've got great customer service and you're connecting as a human being, they will continue to buy from you, but you got to show up. You can't just stay behind a camera or a desk all day long. You got to be meeting new people every day. You got to be unboxing, going live, putting yourself out there, doing the scary things. And it doesn't have to be Scentsy related. Maybe you're on some cleanse where you're pooping all the time and you're like, I cannot even stop pooping with this cleanse. Share it. It doesn't matter. People are not judging you. And if they are, they're not your friend anyway. That's what I'm going to tell you. Like, be bold, be brave, and just do it. Bite the bullet and go for it.
Your customers and your team members should not only be based on your friend group. It's so blatantly clear that this is a scam and you shouldn't do it. Yet, of course, in my opinion, don't come for me, but they're still doing it. You shouldn't have to share the vulnerable parts of your life or your kids or your family in order to feel connected to your quote unquote customers and to get them to keep buying from you. That should not be the case. And if that is the case, there's something wrong. Something's awry. The wires are crossed somewhere. I'm interrupting this broadcast to bring you my first member inside of the Shit Talkers membership that I have on my channel. If you're interested, the link to join is below and all of the information is inside of that link of what you get. But this is my first member, so thank you so much for becoming a member on my channel membership. I appreciate you. It's a great way to help support my channel and help me create more and better content, and I am so excited to keep growing. All right, let's get back into it.
I want to just add to that. It's like a great lead in. I heard a quote today. I don't know what I was watching. It says, you're only fearful when you lack knowledge in a certain area. And it's so true, right? And that's even been doing this 12 years. I've been sick for a month. I went to a bachelorette party that I planned that I probably shouldn't go to. I'm sick again. My back is out. And so I've been like disconnected from my business for over a month, almost, probably the longest that it's ever been. And I was fearful or scared, like Jody said, to hop back on and even share, thinking, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what's LTOs right now. I don't know who's joined. I have no idea what's happening. And the only thing you can do is get up and say, okay, this is the first day of my business. What would I do today? And the best thing you can do is get on one of these calls. And I know some of you are thinking, oh my God, she's recruited 5, she's recruited for 3. You immediately go into comparison mode and but I have all this going on. Like my kids are sick, this is happening, that's happening. You can't. You have to just go back to today's day 1. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. I have to dive back in. I have to get into my news tab. I have to see what's happening. I have to go, okay. I mean, I've seen tons of great ideas. And I'm like, oh my God, bricks are launching. What the hell is Batman going? Like, I have literally no idea. And you start to feel down. Like, what did I do to my business? But you can't look back at yesterday. You really can't. Because it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. And even like Jody said, after 12 years, you get on these calls and I didn't even know what they were talking about tonight. I'm like, what do I have to contribute? Like, this is so bad. I haven't even been on here. But you just have to turn the page and get going. And if you don't have knowledge in something, learn it, figure out what's happening. And then the fear tends to go away as you start speaking, talking, showing up, being there. Don't focus on what you haven't done. And especially when you don't like the feeling of where you were yesterday, turn the page and make it better the next day and just dive in. Pretend like every day that you haven't showed up, today's day 1. And even for me today, tonight is night 1. I feel better. I'm sitting here. You just have to turn the page and keep going. So I know a lot of you are thinking like that. I'm not them. I can't do this. How are they even talking to people? I'm too scared. No one comes to me. You just have to turn the page and dive in. You have to.
So true, Jill. A huge thing is, you guys, is your passion, your excitement will sell more than anything. It will sell the opportunity. It will sell somebody wanting to have a party with you. It will sell the product. And I actually, those of you who are in my group, I went live today and I was sharing with you. And I'm not saying this to brag in any way. I'm just saying that this is what I show at a Scentsy party. This is a Scentsy party for me, you guys. And I did 2 nights ago, I did a $1,600 online Scentsy party showing this stuff. And you want to know why? It's because everybody loves wax and warmers. I don't talk about wax and warmers because I know that they love wax and warmers. And I say for about 2 seconds how they are going to die at all of the new scents. And so make sure they stock up because they're incredible. But you're also going to die if you don't buy Counter Clean, because this stuff, let me tell you how much I love it. And then you're going to die if you don't have a mini fan diffuser in your car. And you're going to die if you're not using our dish detergent.
That's extreme.
Because although you might think it's expensive, you literally need a tiny little drop. This is going to last you so much longer than 15 bottles of Dawn, and it's going to smell so much better. So my point is that it's your passion, it's your excitement. And then they're like, oh, well, I want her to come do a party for me. And that's what I really do, is I really focus on booking, because I know that if I can get them to do a party, I know how much they love Scentsy, and I know that I can flip them as soon as I do a party with them or for them. So don't worry about what you have. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of products. You don't need a lot of anything. Like Jody showed you, she said she doesn't have everything that's in the kit. She put it in her hand. It will work. Me, I don't have all that stuff at my house. I don't think. I mean, I could potentially put it all together. I don't know. I don't even know if I have it all. But to be perfectly honest, that's one of the beauties of going to Idaho, to going to, when you do get a chance, if you get a chance, or get together with your team and say, okay, I can bring this, get 5 to 10 people together, meet up, have a little meeting, everybody bring 5 or 6 things and then take a picture. Each of you take a picture, with as many things as you can. Like, that's the kind of stuff. Make it personal, have passion. If you're scared to talk, and I know that this is what they were saying, the first time I went live, standing in front of my phone, staring at myself for a live bingo party, I was like, I can't even believe I'm doing this right now. This is so embarrassing. Like, what am I going to talk about? And it was okay. Like, I survived. I didn't die, like Jody said. Like, I used to actually enjoy doing home parties. And I think that COVID kind of made all of us like sink in a little bit. Like, who would rather stay home now more than they used to? It's kind of a weird thing. Like, I think right now, like Jody said, like, I haven't done a home party since COVID. Like, I literally have not gone into a home and done a party. So I am enjoying doing it this way, but I had to figure out how to make it work. I had to figure out how to share my passion, and I had to figure out how to get people excited in the best way that I could. So that's that.
Really quick, I'm going to address, we have 8 minutes left of this call. And I have to go to a caddy party after this. My friend's having a caddy party. I support other businesses. Crystal, I started a full-time job yesterday and I have not worked on anything other than Scentsy, so I am not sure how to change my daily routine.
So do these individuals just spend their whole life going to other MLM parties online and in home? Because that is dreadful. That just sounds so awful. It sounds just like, go to the mall instead. If you're gonna go, that's not supporting a small business. That is literally supporting a corporation with contracted salespeople. You're not supporting a small business. These are not businesses. You are a 1099 contractor. You're not a business owner. And I know it hurts to hear that, but it's the fucking truth.
I'm going to tell you, don't change it. I'm going to tell you, wherever you're working, put a warmer, take a Scentsy Go, put a wall fan diffuser, have stuff and let them experience it. You don't have to come across as so salesy, like you're shoving it down their throats. Softly introduce it. It's almost like we're going on a date. You ask me out. You're not going to kiss me the first date. You're going to kiss me on my cheek. Then you're going to give me a peck. Then you're going to give me a little tongue. Then you might go to second base. We might get a third. Then we're going to home run, right? So we're going to do it gradually because you can't go home run right off the bat. So I want you, hearing aid company, perfect. Everybody can still smell. As they're walking by your office, they can still smell and walk by fragrance and go, what is that? It's blueberry cheesecake. I love it. So this is what I want you to do. You don't have to shove it down their throat and go home base right off the bat. Put something great in that people walk by and smell and go, what is that? It's the same thing of taking your testers to a waiting room, like you're getting your oil change and somebody comes up to you and goes, are those lip gloss? No, they're not. But do you want to smell some of them? It happens, right? People are paying attention with their eyes and their nose. They want to see and be nosy and see what you're doing. It happens. You just got to create those moments. They're not going to happen but by themselves. So be intentional in your business. Make the friends first, and then we're going to go to first base and second base, and then home run, get married, and have children. But we're not going home run and having children right off the bat. You got to wine and dine me a little bit casually.
Thank you, Heather. That's a great analogy.
No, I know it's the worst analogy, but it's true because I am such a prude. I don't even change clothes in front of people. So it really is, I am a prude. And so
her story at the beginning of this tells me she's not at all a prude.
Is the truth. Like, you don't go straight to that. Like, it's not happening. No.
Right. So we are almost ready to close up. Does anybody have any closing statements and or questions they would like to make this evening?
I would just say, go out and do something that scares you, because it's probably going to scare you, and I'm frozen.
Through everybody that has spent $100 with you in the past month or 3 months, I literally want y'all to find out who those people are. And I want you to send them a message and let them know. I don't know if you know this, but if you spend $200 a year, you can get paid 20 to 25% back on your purchases. I have a $39 kit. Hustle your arse to get $200 in orders if you don't, or use your party. You listen, when you can do whatever you put your mind to. If you have somebody that says I want to join and you don't have $200 orders, I bet you start messaging every Tom, Dick, and Harry to get $200 in orders if you got a recruit ready to sign up. Why does it take that one moment before we come alive and start working? Right? Like, after you get a speeding ticket, you become a better driver. It's the concept. It happens. Like, it's life. It happens, right? I want y'all to get a speeding ticket, become a better driver. I want you to start messaging these people, get the $200 and start messaging, and everybody get a recruit this month. Every single one of you.
Game on. I like it.
I like it like that.
I like it.
I went to say something and I froze completely. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do something that scares you this month. If you're terrified of it, if it's way outside your comfort zone, then just do it, because the only way that you're gonna get comfortable and push through it is to absolutely do it, make it happen, and be intentional as you're doing it. I'm not gonna read the whole message, but Heather shared a post that Jody shared, and then she sent us both a message, and she was basically just saying, she's a huge seller in our group. Like, she has great PR every single month, and she said that she had to shift her focus and be intentional. She works her business. She is active with the team that she has. She is a leader, but she even herself knew that she had to shift that focus to recruiting from sales, because she knows now that that's where that power is, just from these couple little posts and things that were going around. So be intentional, do something that scares you, and step outside the comfort zone of what is working for you currently.
Amen. I like it. All right.
And don't drink heavily and wear underwear and have a brown paper bag by your toilet.
Great way to tie that back in the beginning.
In closing.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you guys next week here.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Well, it definitely provided some cringe. Like I said, if you are looking to join Scentsy or any other MLM, please make sure you do your research. Check out the people who are consistently posting about Scentsy on Instagram and making it look like this is all rainbows and unicorns, because it's likely that that's not the case and they're hardly getting any interaction. And like I said, that is so telling. So just do your research, folks. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit, and I will see you in the next one.